Hey everyone, welcome to the Bomb Life podcast. I'm Melissa Vogel, your host. Welcome to the show. Today's episode is another good one. You guys are going to love it. I'm actually having my coach back, Coach Stephanie, back on with me. Last time we had her on, you guys just loved her. You ate it up. Everyone started following her. It was great. So make sure you give her a like and follow. We'll put all of her information in the show notes. And Stephanie is a coach, and she does what she does now because of her transformation. She walks the walk and talks the talk, and that transformation has led her into an amazing life, transforming her own mind, body, the way she parents, how she eats, everything. And her story is definitely one that you want to hear. We'll actually put in the show notes a link to the other episode that she was on with me, so you guys can listen to that one first and then dive into this one if you want. It's a crazy time of year. It's the middle of summer. We actually talk a little bit near the end of this episode, the importance of recovery and what to do if you are going on vacation and what the best route is to take. And we didn't talk about it a whole lot. So I want to make sure I did that here really quick in the introduction, because I know I'll get questions on it. And I get questions on this a lot, like, hey, I'm going on vacation. What do I do? Do I find a gym and work out there? Like, I see you on vacation, Melissa, and you're still working out. Know that everything that I do is very, very intentional. And you can do it the same way. You can be very, very intentional. So I'm on my grind right now. I'm pushing hard. I don't want to just have July be like, I'm maintaining and whatever. Like, I've decided that, like, no, that just doesn't suit me. And I want to go hard. I want to go big, and I want to hit all of my goals still. I just don't want to pause anything, but I know it's not going to look perfect. Right. I just got back from Florida. I head to Michigan next week. There's a lot of travel. And I know when I'm gone, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm still going to hustle. So when I was going to Florida, I was looking at my hotel. I didn't have a choice. I had to just stay at that hotel, and I didn't have a gym. I knew I was going to have a rental car. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Looked up local gyms. I had a plan in place before I even took off. So that's my number one piece of advice is if you are traveling, if you are going camping, if you're going in a hotel, an Airbnb, you're going somewhere, is there a gym for you to go to? Is that an option for you? Can you go to a local gym, stay on your program? It'll make you feel better. You won't come back coming home from your vacation feeling like you're in the hole and like trying to dig yourself out, because that is a terrible, terrible feeling. So look, but also too, where are you at before you went on this vacation? Have you been hustling hard for 6, 8 weeks? And you're like, I am doing it. I am showing up. Like, I am on my grind. If that's the case, is it time for a good, like, 4 or 5 day rest period? Because that is equally crucial for your growth of muscle. You have to have that recovery time. And they say every 6 to 8 weeks, you should be taking a 5 day rest where you're doing nothing, maybe yoga, walking, things like that, and let your body get caught up and recover. So ask yourself, where have you been? If you have not been doing that great and your training is, you're just getting started and you don't want to lose momentum. Yeah, you're looking up a gym, you're seeing where you can do your workouts. Keep going. Keep going. If you are someone who is training hard and you're like, it might be time to take a rest, then that is going to be a rest period. So I'm leaving again next week. My goal right now is to go as hard as I can, be smart about it. And then while I'm there, I might go 1 or 2 days with my brother to the gym. We'll see what that looks like, but I'm mentally preparing that that is not going to be my hardcore training time, and I'm going to push up until I get up to that point. Stephanie has her trip coming up, and we had to look, how hard have you been training? What has this been looking like for you? What's the best thing for you to do once you are there? With your kids, with your friends, or at the beach, everything. This is recovery time for you, Stephanie. Like this needs to be recovery time. Stay on top of your food. You're going to be smart. Enjoy the ice cream cone with the kids. But overall, use this as your recovery. Get back at it when you come back. So there is no right or wrong answer. And there is no no, you go on vacation, you keep going. There's a lot of questions to ask before you get to that point. And unfortunately, most people are in the position of just getting started. They're trying to build momentum and that consistency. And while they're gone, you really do need to keep going. You need to find that local gym, you need to hit the gym hotel, you need to figure out something and keep going. Majority of the time, that's the situation, and that's okay. Consistency is key, and I know how cheesy that sounds, we say it all the time, but it is true, and here's my other cheesy saying that I've said before, progress equals motivation. The more progress you have, the more motivation that's going to create inside of you, and you're gonna feel better. So today's episode with Stephanie, we are diving into what goals we're trying to hit, why it's not a good thing to be saying, like, I have all these goals I want to hit, and why people say that. And is what you want matching up with what you're willing to do? So it's really, really good conversation around that, just around nutrition, about our kids, putting in the reps and changing who you are and who you're becoming, and how you're not just going to be that person next week. Like you are a person that shows up at the gym maybe once a week, twice a week, but you're like, no, I got these goals. And next week I'm going to go 5 times. Bitch, no, you're not. Are you kidding me? No, you are not her yet. We need to practice. How about next week we try to hit it 3 times? And you know what? The week after that, we try to hit it 3 times again. And then the next week after that, depending on where we're at with summer and kids, maybe 3 times again. Then we're going to go to 4. Then we're going to go to 5, and we're going to build and we're going to practice and set you up for success, not failure. If we're like, yeah, next week, you got this, you're going 5 times, boom. Mm, and trust me, I want to get my clients to their goals as fast as possible too. Like, yes, I want you to look fabulous in the blink of an eye and in 2 months. It's not going to happen. Well, it could happen. Don't get me wrong. It could happen, but it's not going to last. And that's my goal, is to making it last. So check out the show notes. We'll put the links if you want to book a call with me or Stephanie. We'll have links to our swag in there. We'll have links to the previous podcast that she was in. And it's a great episode. All right, everyone, enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Bomb Life podcast. Today, I have a special returning guest. I'm going to say co-host, because I think if you've come on more than like 1 or 2 times, we can say co-host. So we have Stephanie Cruz back on with us. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm so glad to be back.
I'm excited to have you. We always have great like emails and feedback when you're on. People loved you. People actually started following you and along on your journey. Like, you've been such an inspiration to everyone that listens, to my followers and everything. So keep it up.
Yes, absolutely.
And today, we're doing things a little bit different. Well, not different, but just we're just going to have a real conversation about a few things. As you guys know, Stephanie is a coach in the program Busy to Bomb, and her transformation is huge. Stephanie, how long have you been with us? Just to recap a little bit for maybe people that didn't hear the first episode that you were on with me.
May was 3 years. I came
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Bomb Mom, like, I was in a group, like, a small group, and then we were in that for a month, and then, like, I was, like, officially with, like, the rest of the group in June
In
of
June.
23.
Yeah.
So, but, like, it's definitely been, like, 3 years that I have listened to everything that you have to say.
A change in your life. But
Yeah,
I love that. And I love that it has taken you 3 years through this journey to get where you're at. Like, that time frame is so perfect. And then if we just say, well, in another 3 years, you know where you'll be, because I mean, realistically, to get the change that you want, you're looking at like 6 years,
absolutely.
7 years, if not more.
Yeah.
And people hate that.
They do, but, like, every single like, each of those years, I can look back on them, and I can see a specific transformation for each year that was
Yeah.
required to lead up to the next one.
Hmm.
I would not be where I was at if I didn't do the year's work prior to it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That growth, that journey, that up and down, like, you needed to be where you were at for, because I feel like you got kind of not stuck, but you were just in a very same position for what, maybe a year or so before we started one-on-one coaching.
That and, like, my focus was on the c the century that I was doing on my bike.
Mhm.
And so, like, Bomb Mom, like, I was still doing the workouts, but not
Right.
as intense as I typically would have done it.
Yeah.
And I was more focusing on making sure I had enough fuel and energy for the bike rides and all of that stuff. And my life basically just was surrounded around that. And when I had finished that century, that's whenever I reached out to you, said, "Hey, I need one-on-one because I just finished a century. I'm 170 pounds. That doesn't sound right for someone who's five
Right.
three." Okay? Like, I did it. I was successful.
Right.
I didn't die, and, like, I got my century done in 8 hours. I was super proud of myself, but the fact that I still weighed what I did
Yeah.
at my height, it was like, obviously, I'm not doing something entirely correct, so
Well, isn't it isn't it crazy too because you were, like, so physically fit,
I was, and I still am, but I will tell you, my legs look significantly better than when I was doing my century.
right? Isn't that
I said what
crazy? It's crazy though, it's true, and, you get that a lot, like, I'll have people that contact me and they're like, "I'm in shape," or "I do CrossFit," or a lot of people train for big races, whether it's bike or marathons or something, and I'm like, "Great," but they know they weigh too much, they can run 20 miles, but their BMI and their body fat percentage and their muscle isn't where they're at. And I think that's a big misconception for people is like, no, I work out, I do things. Okay, great. But that doesn't mean that you'll have the physique and the look that you want. And it's so weird because I almost want to say it's like, even though you're in shape, it doesn't mean that you're in shape in a
yeah.
in a way.
The way that you have to eat whenever you're doing those endurance sports are significantly
Yeah.
different than whenever you're strength training to make
Right.
sure that you're holding on to that skeletal muscle that
Right.
we are all after because that's what's going to help us stand up when we're 70 years old. Protein is not a priority for whenever you're doing strength or I mean endurance training.
Right. Right.
Your carbs are because you need to have that glucose
Yeah.
right there just to go. And I mean that's why they make those like honey packets and just like it's just straight up carbs and sugar and it
Mhm.
gets immediately burned off. But you get stuck in that state of only being able to burn carbs and your protein.
Right.
They really don't want you to eat and like for like me, she didn't want me to eat more than like 100 grams of protein.
I believe it. I believe
So
it.
because we wanted the calories to go towards carbs.
Right, which you needed, and it's always interesting getting people to switch their mindset over. Yeah, and to watch your calories and your macros and in a whole different light. Like, I have one client, they were super big into, like, cycling, so the goal was to get more lean, have more muscle, be more, like, jacked, yet keep the body weight down, but muscle going up, and they wanted the weight down because he needed to be lighter on the bike.
Yep.
So I'm like, "Whew, we got our work cut out for us." And what's funny though is that the more lean he got and we kept the muscle going up, the body weight really hasn't changed a whole lot, but his body is completely different. And now he's like, "Yeah, I don't think I wanna look like the other guys that cycle on the bike because a lot of them are really small. They're
Mhm.
a smaller built man because, you need to weigh less to be able to go faster."
Yeah.
And my thing with him and even with you and everyone, it's always like, keep an open mind. Like, just trust this process because you've never been this age before with your kids this age at this stage of school or life or with your career at this weight with these hormones and this amount of muscle. And you don't know like what we don't know what's gonna happen when we get you down to, if this is a guy, like 185, yet your body fat percentage is now gone from 20%, closer to 18 or 17. And I'm like, he was always like, "I guess I never thought of it that way before. I never really was, like, open to that." I'm like, "So it's so much not, like, chasing that number on the scale, but let's see what happens when we start shifting muscle and fat and things like that." And he's, like, way happier now than he was, and it's crazy because the whole goal was focused around cycling. The whole goal was to weigh less to get me faster on my bike, and now he's like, "I'm kind of a
There's
gym
something
rat."
about getting on that bike and then just being able to go miles upon miles. Like, I cannot tell you why it gives you this just
Oh, I
dopamine.
believe it.
It's like whenever you, hit, like, a really heavy PR, it makes you wanna go heavier.
Yeah.
the same thing. You
I
gotta,
believe
like,
it.
know when it's like, "Okay, now this is unhealthy."
I believe it. One of the topics that I wanted to talk about with you was because, we both work with people. Stephanie does calls. So, like, if you booked a discovery call, like, you totally could get Stephanie talking to outside people. And then with people within clients and everything. And her and I are always bouncing things back and forth. And she's talking with people and I'm talking with people and we're sharing, going back and forth. And the one thing, and we've talked about this before on the podcast before, but people, and it's something that we see all the time, and we can't talk about it enough, is that people, they always want things that they're not actually willing to do the work to achieve. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do we hear someone say that they're like, I want this. I want to weigh this amount and have this look. And I've said this before on here, toned. I want to be toned. And then when we lay it out, like, this is what we need from you, then this is what this is going to do. Like that person that you just sent me the video of and how they look, and you're like, yeah, this is what I want to look like. That person is in the gym 6 days a week, probably, and at least 3 leg workouts. And she
Yep.
knows exactly where her protein is and her macros and everything. And we can hardly get this person to the gym 3 times a week, but they're going for, and they want to achieve someone who is a 6, 7 person, 6, 7 times in the gym. And it's like, I just want, but their willing is here.
And whenever I something that I've also noticed is, like, when they tell us what they want or, like, we ask them what their goals are, they'll give us a list that is, like, 8 to 10 things long.
Yes.
You cannot realistically, you're not gonna be able to achieve all of that all at one time.
No.
I mean, if you get that one person, maybe, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to you wanna, like, put it down to more like 3, maybe 4 goals. If
Hmm.
you're talking about, like, a month time span, you might even wanna dwindle it down to 2. That
Right.
way, you give it your all, and once you give it your all, then all of a sudden those 2 goals end up becoming a non-negotiable, and it just happens automatically, and
Hmm.
then start adding another 1 or 2 things on top of that. Oh, now I'm tracking all of my macros. I know exactly where all of my food is gonna be throughout the day. I know what it's gonna be. I know I'm gonna hit my protein. I've got it scheduled for this time and this time around my workouts, so my muscles are just going to soak it all in and we're going to build our muscle on that, but
Hmm.
that becomes our non-negotiable. Now we're adding on top of that, okay, we need to make sure we're getting 10 to 12,000 steps a day because
Yeah.
I suck at that. Okay, then we're being intentional about that until it becomes, again, another non-negotiable.
Right.
That's where it comes in. It's like we say on the podcast, consistency,
Yep.
okay?
Yeah, well, and I think people get like they get just super not excited, but when they realize that their shit isn't their shit, their life is in shambles and it's shit, they're like, this needs to change and this needs to change. And I'm not sleeping and I eat too much and this happens and I'm not walking and I don't have sex. And like, they, once you like open that, Pandora's box and you
Mhm.
really are honest with yourself of like, okay, what do I need to change? Like what is making me unhappy? And you sit with yourself for it and you sit in it, you really do realize like, holy shit, there's a lot wrong here. There's a lot. And I think that's what makes so many people give us the list of like, I need to like change all of this. It's like broom, just and I need changes this, and this. And they don't realize too that, okay, let's narrow it down to like 3 things. Let's like, what are the 3 goals this month? The first 2 are just supporting them to hit the third goal.
Yeah.
Like getting better sleep and paying attention to their nutrition is going to help them lose the 10 pounds. They all like work with each other.
Like, yes, we know everybody always wants to lose weight. We know that. Whenever we're doing onboarding and we get those really long lists, and that's whenever you're telling them, okay, I want you to ask yourself, why 7 times?
Yeah. 7
And
layers deep, baby.
that is going to dwindle your list down to the root cause that you actually need to be working on.
Mm,
You're talking about wanting to lose weight. Well, why do you wanna lose weight? Because I eat too much food. Okay, well, why do you eat too much food? Because I keep junk food around and I just grab what's easy. Okay, you grab what's easy. So why do you only have that? Well, I have kids. Why do you not grab
mhm.
healthy food for you? Why are you putting yourself on the back burner? And then you get to that 7th layer, and it's because you don't think you have any value to yourself because you just weren't treated right as a kid, and we actually need to work on little you.
Right. And it started
Like,
off as like, "Oh, I just wanna lose
you
30 pounds."
yeah, you went from, "Okay, let's lose 10 pounds," to little you needs to heal from your
Yeah.
past trauma in order
Mhm.
to lose that 10 pounds.
I know. That's why these conversations are so important to have and to remind people of like, be careful what you say that you want. Are you willing to do the work to get there? How many goals or saying like how many things are there you're saying you want to hit and achieve? Be careful with that. Like, I just don't think enough people break this down. And I swear to God, I will like be on my deathbed, like pounding it into people's head that like the micro shifts have to happen. You have to back the train up and take it one tiny shift at a time.
And it doesn't like, when we say tiny shift, we truly mean tiny, like, it can be something as simple as adding an extra cup of water every single day.
For
If you're
real.
not drinking water, like, just add 1 extra bottle of water.
Mhm.
That for a week, okay, now let's see if we can move to 2. It's the same with the steps, like, you don't have to do an
Right.
insane amount all of the sudden. Just add in, "Okay, let's do a 10-minute walk every day for a week." Let's build on that. You create the motivation. You make the movement, the motivation is going to follow.
Well, and I don't think people realize either, like, that's a really good point with just, like, a walk and a step. Okay, 7 days, 10 days, like, we're gonna hit this goal.
Yeah,
And then they get into day 1, day 2, day 3, and then by day 4, they've missed. Oh, and then they miss day 5. No one stops to go, "Wait, what caused you to miss day 5? Why didn't you hit it day 4?" Like, don't just say, "Oh, I only made it 4 days, and then I got too busy, and then this hit, and then this hit," or whatever. Hold on. What made you stop?
yeah.
"Oh, well, someone got sick," or, like, "I couldn't leave the kids," if you have kids at home, or, "I got caught up at work a little bit later." Okay. Did you have a plan B in place of, like, if you plan on walking after school, after work, or whatever? No. So maybe now to help you and not miss that next time, we have to have a backup plan. Okay. And
Yep,
then other times people are just like, "I was just too tired. I just, I was too tired. I like couldn't fit it in." Okay. Well, when did you schedule that walk? Was it scheduled in at the very end of your day? You know what I mean? Like now we're picking up on like the truth of like what really prevented you from getting there. It's not because you're lazy and you just couldn't keep doing it. It's because life happened and threw some stuff in your way
yep,
and that, impacted whether or not you showed up. So if you can like keep making these changes as you go and identifying like what roadblocks got in your way, oh my God, you'll hit ten days, no problem.
yep,
And then
absolutely.
and then before you know it, you're gonna be the person going to the gym 6 days a week.
Yeah, and I mean, I wanna point out, like, if you're scheduling, let's say it's the walking the steps. If you're only scheduling that 10-minute walk at the very end of your day after you've exhausted yourself and all of these things, and after you've been putting yourself last all day,
Right.
you are setting yourself up to give yourself the excuse to not do this. You are still putting yourself on the back burner by not setting this up as the priority. Instead, how about we put this in the front? Maybe not like right as you wake up in the morning. I understand that. But like, how long is your lunch break at work?
Right.
Do you have access to just walk somewhere for 10 minutes? Like, does it take 10 minutes to get from your desk to your car? Like,
Right.
something as simple as that.
You're making such a good point. I have said this countless of times to a lot of my one-on-one clients, because they are, like, so busy, like, their lives are insane, and I've noticed patterns with a lot of them that they'll go and do their workout at, like, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night because, and I'm gonna use air quotes, "It's the only time I can fit it in." Might be true, whatever, but I was like, you also have to realize and see that you're using the last little bit of gas that you have in your tank for you to
Mhm.
go and crush it to create a really big physical change with your body. Make that make sense. You tell me how you're going to make progress by just using the last couple drops of gas in your tank to build muscle and rip and repair and go into like just fucking beast mode, during that time where the music's going and everyone's away from you. And like we call it like our hot girl time, like you tell me how that's going to happen 4 days a week at 9:30 at night where you're like, just got to get four more sets and then I can get to bed. And if I get to bed now, then I can just get at least get 5 hours of sleep. And but like,
That person is not gonna be sitting there counting their bicep curl, going 1, 2, 3,
oh
4,
no.
and letting go. They're just doing this. That's not
Hmm.
what's gonna create that muscle.
Yep. Yep. And this, I see this all the time. And then they'll say, but I don't have any other time during the day. And I just call bullshit on that. Like, I know I know you're busy. I know you are like, if someone is a doctor or a therapist or someone who has like calls or back to back appointments, right? That sucks because it's like one after another, after another, after another. But what if you blocked off? And this was a suggestion I made to someone, and I know this can resonate with a lot of people. I was like, what if you blocked off 2 hours in the day for your lunch and then you work and you don't close until 6 or 7 or whatever? No, no, I can't do that. I don't want to work that late because then I'm not home and for dinner and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you're going home and you're changing and you're going to your workout anyways. So you're not present and home during that time anyways. How amazing would it be to go on your lunch break every day or maybe not every day, like maybe just 2 or 3 days a week. Like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we do this. And you block it off and you leave work, you go to the gym, get it done. You still have fuel in your tank. You had a good lunch. It fueled you before you worked out. Then you come back and you continue to see patients or clients or your next, like, whatever. And
Let's
then,
not forget about the dopamine rush that you're going to hit after that workout when you
right?
come back to work. You are
Right?
going to feel, as funny as this sounds, re-energized for work after working your muscles out.
Such a good point. And how good of quality are your clients, patients, people, whatever appointments getting at 5 o'clock? Are you
I
literally falling asleep and like,
hate scheduling appointments at the end of the day because I
"Oh, I
know
know.
I'm gonna get just the last bit of gas that that person
Yes.
has.
Yes.
Not not that I'm upset about that, it's more of just like, I understand it's the end of the day, you wanna be done.
You get it."
I don't
Mhm.
be that person.
I know. I totally agree. That's funny that you say that because 'cause I'm mindful about when I schedule too. And they're like, "We have a 5:30." I'm like, "No, thank you. No, thank you. You are gonna be burnt out. I know you've been in the office all day long. You haven't done anything." Like, I mean, we get these things, and I know there are people probably listening going like, "No, that's just not possible. You don't understand. As a lawyer or as a physician, you just can't schedule things in the middle of the day." And like, "Okay, then in the morning." Or like I said before, what if it's just 2 days? 2 days, you take a long ass lunch break, and then the other 2 days, you're up at 5.
We have a couple of moms in our group that wake up. I think one of them wakes up at 4:30,
Yeah.
and she has a job
Yep.
that she's going to go to, and this is what she did to figure it out. She's like, "You know what? I do need to work out, and I know I need to fit it in somewhere. My day is so freaking busy." She wakes up at 4:30 and she gets her workout done
Yeah.
every single day,
Yep. Yep.
and it shows in her results.
Yep. And I gotta say this, I know you and I were having a conversation about this and trying to help people, and this is like a super common thing, and it's something I'm always telling people in the group too, is like, you're not gonna wake up and just be that person that does this new schedule next week. We can map out the most beautiful schedule in the world and be like, "This is your new schedule. Look how shiny and new it is. I use highlighters and everything." That's great, but
Yep,
if you're not that person to perform that schedule, it's worthless. As
yep.
organized and pretty as we've made it, it's worthless. So before we do that, you need to practice and, like we say, put in the reps
Yep.
of being the person that shows up daily for you. And that could be, like you said, going for a walk on Monday, and then Tuesday you're doing your leg workout for you, and then Wednesday you're doing your grocery shopping and meal prepping and you're doing your other walk, like, and you're just one day at a time, and everything counts. Everything matters because that's a
Does it?
rep. That's
It
that's
it
like saying curling and being like, "Yeah, but rep 6 and 7 didn't really matter." Like, okay.
they should.
It should
They better
because they
count.
all stack up on top of one another.
Rep 6 and 7 better burn much more than
Wanting to
2.
drop it by then.
Hey, look here.
Right? But it just you people don't realize that you have to practice. They want to become this person so bad, and I get it, and I want that for them too. And I'm like, "But you have no idea how much work, like, you and I have put in to be the women that have are moms, that run a household, that have jobs, that do shit, and still show up at the gym 6 days a week and have moved that part of our life into the non-negotiable section of our brain." Like,
Responsibility.
we have put in blood, sweat, and tears,
Yep.
literally.
Yep. At this point, my kids are always asking me every single day because it's summer right now. They ask me, "Mom, are we going to the gym today?" "Yep, we're
Mhm.
going to the gym today." "Okay, when are we going to the gym today?" My kids will ask me when we are going to the gym.
Yes.
They want to know, are we going in the morning or are we going in the afternoon?
It's not
I'm
if. Are you going today?
It's when, not if, when. Because they already know, like, if we go in the morning, that means we get to go back to the gym again later in the day for pool time. So, like, they already know.
Yep. I gotta ask you this. So before, like, go back in your mind like a year and a half ago or maybe last summer, I don't know. Did your kids ask you that then?
It was If it was last summer, it was more about, "Why isn't mommy riding her bike as much anymore?"
Mm, see, they pick up
And
on all that.
it had shifted from cycling to strength training. But I do have a significant difference between this year and last year food-wise. I have my kids trained now, at least my older ones that can read. They will pick up the thing that they want, like it's, a bag of chips or something like that. They won't even ask me if they can have it now before they read the back of it, and if they see any particular oil that they know that I will say no to, they put it back, they won't even ask me anymore.
Isn't it wonderful? They're trained
And
like
then
that.
and then when they find some when they believe that they have truly found something that is mom approved, they will typically come up just, like, with the brightest smile on their face, "Mommy, can I have this? I looked at the ingredients.
Funny.
It looks it's safe, it's good."
God, you've changed those kids' lives. Like, you have changed the pet. You have no idea. Like, we're laughing about it and it's funny and it's cute and, like, it makes our life easier. But to have children that even know that foods have labels on them and ingredients on them, it's huge. You know, it's so life-changing and it's so important because we work with adults that have never even looked at the ingredients before. We work with adults that have worked with other adults and other coaches and trainers, and they weren't asking them what was in their food. And then they come to us and we're like, "Oh, that's great nutrition facts, but what's in it?"
I don't know, I feel like sometimes we have had some adults that aren't aware what a portion is.
Yes.
Whenever my kids
Right?
ask for, like, a snack, 'cause, like, I mean, yeah, we get the lesser evil popcorn and all of those little snacks. I do keep those stuff in my cupboard because my kids do need food, and it's summer. We have summer snacks, but I'm not gonna let them just grab the entire bag of popcorn.
Right.
I tell them, like, "You may have 1 portion. Look at the back," and I have taught them how to read the back. Okay, this is what how much 1 is. This says 1 cup. Okay, and this is what 1 cup equals. This many calories and all of these things. This is what you're supposed to eat. That's what this is here for, and that's how you keep food in the house with 4 kids in it.
Right.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah. We have so many, like, little bowls like
Yes.
little porcelain ones, glass ones. I've thrown out all of my plastic now. And there was like, why do you, people ask, why do you have so many little bowls? My boyfriend has it the other day, like, there's so many little bowls. I'm like, they're all for portions. They're all for like sides or,
Yeah.
they're easy to scoop or read. And sometimes, yeah, a tiny little bowl is one serving of something. And you need to know that. Just pay
Right.
attention to it. And I know people, Stephanie, will listen to this. Because we always get haters. I know that there will be people that listen to this and they'll be like, God, this is just like, it's so much. And it's like almost psycho. And you're paying attention to all these little things. And like your poor kids, just let them eat. Like I'll get DMs like that. But people don't realize the toxic soup that we live in every single day and how shit our food is right now and how little we move. We were talking about this on the team call just last night about like
We
our movement
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
one of our clients went camping and she was like, I can't believe how many steps I took because if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to walk half a mile. If I had to go
Yeah.
see friends, I had to walk,
Yeah.
quarter mile down the road. And when we live in a world like this where our movement is limited and our activity, everything is right here, right now, our food is crap. You better believe that we have to up our game in knowing our nutrients, our serving sizes, how many steps we're taking, paying attention to that. That's not psycho. That's called living and surviving in a shit world right now.
And people, I think one of the main things that usually gets put on the list of what they want to work on, what they want to have go away, is the brain fog. They want the clarity back
Hmm.
in their life so that they can actually do things. And as like personally, that was one of mine. And I got it back. Like I'm 34 and I had brain fog. And now my brain fog is gone. Why? Because I'm being intentional with what I am putting into my body, what is
Right.
being absorbed into my body. I mean, we have so much that can get absorbed up in here, and then that's basically what's happening is it's just being dimmed down.
Right.
And as a mother with 4 kids, I personally have ADHD. I know 3 of mine do.
Hmm.
Okay. I know at least one of mine is also on the spectrum. Okay. I can tell you right now if because I can already, like you said, I can hear the haters about the
Oh,
food. Just let them eat, okay? Just let them eat the Doritos and the Takis and the things. My kids did eat like that, and I can tell you that from then to now, their behavior is astronomically different.
mm.
We're talking about my son who has been diagnosed with autism and ADHD and was prescribed Adderall and we worked with a therapist and all these things. But when I started watching what he ate, I took out red 40, I took out all the bad seed oils. I made sure that we made protein a priority first. And yes, he is still eating carbs. He has not had one of those tantrums.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how many people in the community here understand what an a tantrum can look like from an autistic child.
Hmm.
And I mean, my child is very, very high functioning, okay? Most people don't even know that he is, but it's those fits where he literally does not have control of his body. He is throwing it everywhere,
Yep.
okay? And we're talking I'm 5'3", and this boy comes up to here on me, and he was throwing fits till when he was, like, here on me. So I have to physically be strong enough
Right.
to contain him so he doesn't hurt himself because of
Hmm.
this. I stopped giving him all of those innocent little snacks that the school thinks is safe, okay? That's a whole 'nother rabbit hole, I'm
Good
sorry.
lord. Yes.
Um, I stopped giving him all of that. The tantrums are gone.
I believe it.
They're
Mhm.
they're completely gone. He just has a normal attitude for an 11-year-old now.
Right. Yeah, that's
Like,
not gonna go away.
I can handle that, okay?
But yeah,
But
no, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
the extra emotion and the ex oh my god, it just sets their brain off, and you're right, and people need to hear this. People need to hear, like, what you're saying and your story and, like, your experience with this. I saw a reel the other day, and it said something like, I probably reposted it knowing me and probably pissed a ton of people off, but it said something like, "I think it's insane or should be illegal," or I don't know, so it's pure insanity that people still go to McDonald's. And I was
Oh,
like,
I reposted it.
yes, I did post it, right? I shared it. Isn't that true though? Like, if you
Yes,
really think about it and you really think about what we know about food now, and we know what, just we're gonna say it, McDonald's, does, and what it's not a chicken nugget. There is nothing chicken about that nugget, just so we know. It's insanity that people still go there and eat it and give it to children and call it a Happy Meal. Like, what the fuck,
the only time my kids ever eat from those chains is when they're not with me.
right?
Like, if they're
Yes, same.
like, when they were with their dad, but he does it a lot less now. My husband, he's beginning to get on my train now. So, he's realizing, like, anytime he goes there and he eats it, he's like, "That tasted horrible,"
Yeah.
and I feel like shit the entire next day
Yep.
from one meal. And, like, I'm just like, so now whenever my kids go out with, like, the grandparents or anything like that, they don't want to eat at those places.
Yeah, when you're cooking home cooked food and chicken and baking it and grilling and doing your own stuff, and then you do that for a while, and then you go eat on the outside, it's like, I don't even want that anymore, like, and your kids pick up on that too. But
Yep.
we can't protect them from everything, and, like, will we stopping it in and out? Yes, but it's like once every couple months or so. Like, we just went to the beach the other day, and on the way back, my youngest like, "Let's get in and out. Let's just stop and get it." And it's right there when you're leaving the beach. And I'm like, "No, I have chicken at home. We roasted broccoli." Like, it was so much better. I'm like, "Yes, are we hungry? Do I feel like going home and cooking dinner? Absolutely not." Like, not even a little bit, but it'll totally be worth it in the end. And I know you guys are getting another good meal, and it's all about, like, the bucket too, right?
Yeah,
We all
the
have the
bucket.
bucket. And
Yeah,
if we as moms and for our not even moms, like even ourselves as just humans can keep that bucket low, there is space and room for it when we do go out to eat, when we do have to stop, or when we are on vacation and we're eating out a lot of packages. It's okay because my bucket is super low.
I literally just had that conversation with my 11-year-old. He asked, he's like, "So why do we have to watch the ingredients on like, all of our food?" I'm like, "It's I know you think it's all of our food, buddy, but honestly, it's probably 90% of our food. There's this 10% that I will let go."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, that's okay. Yeah, you wanna have that pizza? I'm gonna let this one thing go
Yeah. And then
because I know it's
experience the
not every
diarrhea.
single day." Yeah, like, it's not every single day. So
Right. Yeah. My kids are going to their dad's. This will air after 4th of July, but they're going there for the 4th of July. And I'm like, you guys just got to make the best decisions that you want. And I can't control what's over there, but hopefully I've taught you enough. And let's keep it really clean until you go up there. Let's keep that bucket low,
yes.
till you get
I
over
have a
there.
trip coming up in July, we you and I talked about, and we talked like, "Okay, I need to keep all of my food just on point, really clean. I need to keep my calories right here. I
Hmm.
need to be showing up at the gym until this certain week in July,
Yes.
and then I get to have a rest week."
I'm glad you brought that up of like, because Stephanie was asking, like, what do I do? Do I find a gym? Do I take time off? And this is because we're in the middle of the summer and people are vacationing when they will hear this and doing things. And it's like, yeah, you need that rest and recovery time. And we like went back and looked like, when was the last time you took a really big intentional time off? And she's due. Stephanie is totally due for one. And the muscle and recovery needs to happen and enjoy your trip. And I'm like, okay, then that means right now you are fucking crushing it. You are on top of it. So all of these lessons, all of these topics, like I'm so glad that you were able to come on and we could talk about it again. Like people need to be reminded of the ingredients, of the snacks. They need to be reminded of the goals that they're setting for themselves and being realistic. Like these conversations can't be had enough. And I know I've talked about these topics before on the podcast, but it's like, man, you just never know what episode is going to just click for someone. And you have to hear a message how many times? Like 30 times for it to even like stick and find a place in your brain.
And then there's also the difference of hearing it from, like, someone who is
Yeah.
a doctor, and, like, let me tell you, I love hearing from specialists and doctors and things, but I also like hearing from real people who
Yeah.
are just out there like, "Look, I'm just trying to live my best life trying to raise these 4 children. That's it. Like, figure
Do
this
with as
out."
much muscle as possible.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for coming on again, Stephanie. This was absolutely great. Everyone, check out the show notes if you want to book a call with us, have questions, anything. Everything will always be in the show notes for you. So, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time.
Bye.
The Bomb Life podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The content shared here is not intended as medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any health, fitness, financial, or legal decisions. The opinions shared on this podcast are personal experiences and insight. So if you need expert guidance, go find the right professional for you. Thanks for listening.